Here we go.
Hi, Dr. Ernat.
Hello, Robyn.
What are some safety tips owners can be aware of during the 4th of July?
Well, because some of the big concerns for 4th of July are the fireworks, and a lot of dogs do, pets do get nervous with fireworks. So a couple things you can do as proactively to help with the fireworks is to pull the shades, maybe turn on a stereo, keep sounds up, and see if we can do what we can to keep the pet comfortable so that there is less chance of getting nervous. Some people have even gone as far as to get sound effects records and have storms and or fireworks with sound effects to get them kind of acclimated to that, doing that throughout the day or days if animals are having trouble with that. Besides that, if dogs' hearing is very, very good, very acute, if you have issues with that, there are certainly some medications that veterinarians can prescribe to help with your pets. Anything from tranquilizers to anti-anxiety medications, and some are very effective and very safe. And in fact, what I use for my own dog are some medications we get from here to help her with her anxiety issues.
Perfect. With clients thinking of taking their pets to fireworks show, what would you suggest?
Unless they're really comfortable and know their pet well and know what they're going to do, I might want to avoid things like that because of the noise, the crowd factor, and if animals do get worried or reactive, there's a potential for harm being done to them or to others around them. So keeping them home is maybe a safer route, and if the pets are very calm and have done well with those situations in the past, then taking them, but making sure that you have a good strong leash that can keep them safe so that they're not likely to get away, to get hurt or lost.
And then since it's going to be warm this next upcoming week, what are some tasty treats that owners can create for their pets to keep them nice and cool?
Having plenty of fresh water, keeping, if they're going to be outside for any length of time, making sure that they're checked on, making sure they're not overheating, keeping fresh water, maybe ice water, that's nice and cool, making sure that if they are outside or even inside, making sure that the water bowls are kept clean and full of fresh, cool water. Other things to eat, their normal foods, making sure that they're safe and kept away from contamination of bugs and other things if they're outside, or again making sure that their foods are safe. There are things like frosty paws and things like that many dogs do like. Those are also going to be good to keep them cool. So treats that way are usually adequate. Limiting the human foods, because sometimes those are associated with the digestive issues, and is another thing you want to do for your pets to keep them healthier.
Cool. Right, those are the questions I have. So.
Besides that, some other things that are helpful, especially during this really hot time of year, is being careful with their pets going out on pavement. If there's issues, oftentimes even by early mid-morning, the pavement can be very hot, and many dogs can get blistered feet, blistered pads, and that can be responsible for lots of injuries and lameness and infections. So making sure that you avoid, during the hottest part of the day or much of the day, avoid being on pavement, concrete, blacktop, trying to limit that, and if they're going to be out, keeping it more earlier in the day or keeping them on grass and away from paved surfaces. That can be helpful for them as well. Again, to reinforce, you want to make sure that they're kept have access to shade if they're going to be outside, and plenty of water out there. That's a really important thing. Signs of overheating include panting, lethargy. Excess panting can be a real issue, and making sure that they're not stumbling or signs of weakness, which could show signs of heat exhaustion. So those are things you want to watch for this time of year. You also want to look for if you have animals with any kind of respiratory problems, dogs that have laryngeal paralysis, which is a respiratory problem we see with a lot of our larger dogs. They can severely overheat because they can't breathe and pant normally or adequately. So they can overheat and be in a life-threatening situation. Dogs with heart issues are also at greater risk, especially during the summer months. especially, you know, because they're having more issues with the heat and humidity, and that can put them at greater risk for serious heart disease and complications from that. So,
Thank you.
that's what I got.
Awesome, Dr. Ernat. Thanks for all the fun updates.
Thank you for all your fun updates, Dr. Ernat. It's greatly appreciated for informing us on what to look for and be aware of for this upcoming holiday.
Okay, and speaking of the holiday, as you know, we're here every day, and for the holidays, as in all other holidays, we will be here, and I will be here on the 4th of July from 8 o'clock until 2 o'clock.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Nice job.